Today on Vox with information on Crocs and more. Ben Dudash will have your local weather and Knoxhampton will have your sports.
It's Thursday, January 21st, 2021, and you are watching Vox News Today.
Good afternoon and welcome back. I'm Jay Standridge.
And I'm Serena Shelton.
The Chattanooga Fire Department says a crash between a garbage truck and a car on Lee Highway resulted in a 2 a.m. alarm fire at the auto repair shop. 2 people were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. However, A&W Auto Repair suffered significant damage. CBD says a garbage truck and car collided and hit a light pole, causing both vehicles to burst into flames.
The Biden administration started early signing a ton of executive orders within hours of holding office. One of those allows immigrants to apply for a green card and provides others with a streamlined 8-year path to citizenship. If legislation passes Congress, Orlando Venegas is a DACA recipient in Chattanooga who says he has hope for the future. Venegas lives in Chattanooga after growing up in Guatemala. He has been in the DACA program for the past 8 years.
COVID-19 active cases in Bradley County are going down slowly but surely. 1,068 cases are current in Bradley, while there have been 90 deaths. The number has been dropping slowly since January 11th, when they peaked at 1,231 active cases.
In Hong Kong, residents watched in amazement as a paraplegic athlete strapped himself to his wheelchair and climbed up around 820 feet in order to raise money for spinal cord patients. After a car accident left him paralyzed, he continued to climb using a pulley system, pulling himself up with his arms. While he couldn't make it to the top due to safety concerns, he still inspired millions.
After a very long period of wondering, scientists finally understand exactly how butterflies fly. Experts have found that butterflies clap their wings together, pushing out trapped air to push the insect in the opposite direction. These scientists have also noted that butterflies don't clap their wings together as you would expect. They bend their wings, creating a pocket shape to capture more air and improve propulsion. A 21-year-old man was killed in late-night crash on eastbound Interstate 40. Tennessee Highway Patrol troopers say Spencer Boston of Lebanon was killed after his vehicle veered off the road and struck a traffic barrier. THP officials say Boston was ejected from the car and struck a guardrail. He died at the scene. A family of 6 is currently displaced after a house fire on Friday night. Rutherford County Fire Rescue, along with crews from the Sheriff's Office, Emergency Medical Services, and Almaville Fire Department. They responded about 10:30 p.m. and they were able to extinguish the fire through extensive damage had already been done. Assistant Fire Marshal Joshua Sanders says the fire appears to be accidental.
Frontline workers across the country are getting their hands on some Crocs. Many others cannot. Musicians on Call, an organization which brings live and recorded music to the patients in healthcare facilities, has announced the Grammy-nominated artist Post Malone has gifted 10,000 pairs of his sold-out Crocs to frontline workers at 70 hospitals across the country.
Officials say the FBI responded to a report of a possible threat on American Airlines flight in Memphis. According to the Memphis International Airport, the flight crew on an American Airlines flight scheduled from Memphis to Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, identified a threat from a passenger before takeoff. The flight's passengers were sent back to the terminal for rescreening while authorities inspected the plane and luggage. Here's Ben Dudash with your weather report.
I'll have your weather and more right after this break.
Wait just a little bit till he gets.
One thing to love about the Tennessee Valley is Bradley Central Show Choir, Vocal Motion. The other thing to love is the local Geico office on Lee Highway.
You could save a lot. Oh, you can save a lot. Oh, you can save a lot. But how do you know? Unless you call 894-2600.
Got a car? Got a boat? Got a home?
Get a quote.
CRCC to me is a calling that God placed on my life to really step out in faith on something that I didn't think I could do, and it's been amazing to see how God's worked through it.
CRCC stands for Crossroads Community Church, but we're a church that our vision is to be a life-giving church in our community. We do that through helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and then go make a difference. And so that's what we're doing every week, is helping people discover their jam and go make a difference.
So let's take a look at your weather. Today is going to be some showers today, with the temperature reaching at a peak of 49 degrees Fahrenheit. But for today, the high is going to be 52 with a low of 38, gusts of winds reaching 7 miles per hour going southwest, and the humidity today is going to be at least at 92%. Now let's take a look at our 7-day weather forecast. Friday is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 55 and a low of 29. Saturday, sunny, beautiful skies with a high of 50 and a low of 30. Sunday is going to have those showers are going to come back with a high of 51 and a low of 45. Monday, those rains and thunderstorms are going to get worse with a high of 64 and a low of 50. Tuesday, all that rain is going to just could be gone for a little while with a high of 56 and a low of 38. Wednesday, those showers are coming back with a high of 52 and a low of 43. Let's take a look at our local radar. There's showers all over in the area, so stay indoors and stay dry and warm. Now let's take a look at our national radar. Like I said before, in our area, there is a lot of rain just downpouring on us, along near the Dallas and Houston area as well. And there's some snow near New York and Boston. Everywhere else near the center is all in the clear. That's all for weather. Now let's send it over to Knox with your sports.
Alrighty, sports fans. A lot of basketball happened last night, but we'll get right to that after this break.
In 1933, Ray Jackson founded Jackson Furniture in the midst of the Great Depression. We opened our doors the day the banks closed theirs. Since then, we have continued to create furniture right here in the USA. We have seen decades of American prosperity, challenge, war, and mind-blowing advancements in science and technology. We have never forgotten the way our company and country began, with perseverance, hope, and hard work. Throughout all of those decades of change, one thing remains consistent. Families love to relax together in a room filled with comfortable furniture. That is where we have been and will always be. From being huddled around a radio to being kicked back in front of a giant flat screen.
righty, and welcome back. Let's not waste any of our time and get straight to these scores. All righty, the Cavaliers beat the Nets 147 to 135. The Mavericks beat the Pacers 124 to 112. 76ers beat the Celtics by 117 to 109. The Warriors beat the Spurs 121 to 99. The Heat beat the Raptors 111 to 102. And the Magic just barely beat the Timberwolves 97 to 96. Now let's get on to some NCAA. Alrighty, we don't have as many games, but we still have a good amount of games. Houston beat Tulsa 86 to 59. Wisconsin beat Northwestern 68 to 52. Providence beat Creighton 74 to 70, and Georgia Tech slaughtered Clemson 83 to just 65. Alrighty, we do have a little story for y'all today. Recently, George Springer finally signed to the Blue Jays under a 6-year contract worth $150 million Tuesday night. The Mets and the Blue Jays both consistently tried to get the 31-year-old throughout the offseason. Alrighty, that's all for Sports Day we have. We'll have more news after this break.
Alexa, ask Whirlpool. Hey Google, ask Whirlpool. Ask Whirlpool. Ask Whirlpool.
Care can be a handful. That's why our Whirlpool Smart Range helps you care smarter with voice control.
Hey Google, ask Whirlpool to turn off the oven.
Set oven timer for 5 hours. Keep warm. Alexa, ask Whirlpool to preheat the oven to 350.
So life doesn't revolve around your range. Everyday care. Whirlpool.
Welcome back, Bradley Central. In Nashville, Tennessee, police are investigating after a man was shot at a gas station in South Nashville early Tuesday morning. Officers responded at 1 a.m. where one person had suffered a gunshot wound. The victim was transported to the Vanderbilt University Medical Center for treatment. The injuries were not serious according to the police, and no arrests have been made at this time.
Scientists are now using satellites to watch an elephant habitat. Once scientists realized that they could observe more than 200 acres of habitat, they immediately started expanding their use for this new technique. Dr. Olga Isupova will continue to observe these elephants and their interactions until they can find a more permanent study.
Dr. Tom Hart and his team from Oxford University has discovered an abnormally large colony of penguins that is estimated to consist of more than 1.5 million birds. The scientists decided to take a different approach at looking at wildlife and used spacecraft to assist him in the search as well. The assistants did more than that and showed him a beautiful and large colony of these amazing animals.
Germany has extended their partial lockdown to mid-February. Chancellor Angela Merkel announced this Tuesday to prepare for a possible second wave of the virus, or other versions of it. This level of lockdown will include schools, non-essential shops, restaurants, and leisure of sporting facilities to remain closed. The country will also be required anyone using public transport or going to the shops that are allowed to stay open to wear a mask.
According to research, the cheetah population used to be about 100,000 in the wild, but today their population has dwindled to under 2,000. However, by taking DNA samples, the Cheetah Conservation Fund works to preserve the cheetah population through the conservation science. In 2007, the CCF produced the first ever vitro cheetah. Work like this can help protect and grow the cheetah population.
A military helicopter crashed yesterday in upstate New York, killing 3 soldiers. It was on a routine training mission when it crashed based at the Army Aviation Support Facility. The soldiers were not identified immediately. We're waiting for the National Guard for confirmation of who was on board and identification of our great soldiers, says Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter.
10 executive orders will be signed today as part of President Biden's strategy to fight COVID. He plans to expand testing and vaccine availability, along with reopening schools within the next 100 days. He also plans to send out 100 million vaccine doses by the end of April. The vaccine will include 2 injections between a 4-week period and a booster 3 weeks after the first initial shot. U.S. Representative David Kustoff is under self-quarantine after the Tennessee Republican came into close contact with someone who tested positive for COVID-19. His office said Tuesday Kustoff tested negative for the virus on Monday. But he has been advised by the attending physician of the U.S. Congress to quarantine. He said in a statement, Kustoff said he is working remotely. An electrical malfunction is believed to have caused a massage chair to burst into flames outside the JCPenney at Hamilton Place Mall in Chattanooga early Wednesday morning. The fire department responded to a fire reported inside the mall, and they said that they found the massage chair had caught fire. The fire was extinguished within minutes, according to the fire department. We are online at YouTube at BCHS VOX News. You can check us out on Facebook and, of course, at voxnews.net. Remind for friends and family to tune in. You just can't get enough of Vox. That's all we have for today, Bradley Central. And as always, God bless and go Bears.